You are tuned in to SunDogs Present Local Vibes. Excuse me. Usually this is broadcast on WFNULP 94.1 FM, Minnesota's only local variety station.
WFNULP is a volunteer-run station made up of many different community voices. Each program expresses one aspect of that diversity, not the views of WFNU or Frogtown Tuned In as a whole.
Like we said, bow wow, you are tuned in to SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We are the aforementioned SunDogs, the good boys.
Woof.
And we are sitting in the dog house with Chase. Vibe.
What's up?
Nothing is up. I'm chilling here with two great artists here in the Twin Cities, and about to go over a lot of business. But then we're going to get into the doggone good stuff.
All right.
The local artist spotlight. Follow Chase Vibe at Chase Vibe. Follow us as SunDogs TC. Make sure to check out the Facebook page radio show SunDogs Present Local Vibes. And before us, if you're listening to 94.1 FM, which you had better been, you were listening to the 94.1 FM WFNULP music rotation. If you have clean songs of non-hip-hop and R&B, where can they send them?
Send them to station manager at WFNU.org, and they will put them right on the radio.
What about those clean hip-hop or R&B songs?
Oh, you know what to do. Send them to SunDogs TC, and we will put them on our show as well as submit them to the music rotation. SunDogs TC, no swear words, nothing that your grandma wouldn't want to hear.
Precisely.
And yeah, we will do the rest.
After us, if you're listening to 94.1 FM, you're going to hear more of that WFNU music rotation. If you're on YouTube, pull up another local vibe video.
And Fridays is crazy on WFNU. So it goes us at 6, more music rotation at 7, and then 9 o'clock, Get the Gravy Hot with Gall Dagburn.
10 o'clock, Basic Beats with DJ Dom Terrace.
11 p.m. to wrap out the Friday is Club 120 Plus Replay with Sid DeLuca.
Other great programs here on 94.1 FM are the Midday Escape with Philip Gracia, Fridays at noon, Saturdays at noon.
The morning program with Dr. Rick Burnett, that is live Thursdays and Fridays at 7 in the morning, and replays Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday at 7.
The Extra Dimension with Ian R. Buck is live, Wednesdays at 8 p.m.
651 Sports Update with Mike Resendez is 10 a.m. live.
Hits and History of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, hosted by Dr. Rick Burnett. That's live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, midnight. Replays Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, midnight.
And then Evolation with Mr. Zero and Dr. Rick Burnett. That's Wednesdays at noon and Fridays at...
Don't forget about all of our teleprompter. Fridays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, my bad. And then Funk to Your Ears.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
That's a Friday.
Oh, I'm leaning on the keyboard. Jeez, my producer wrote me a sign, exactly. Pardon me. 7 p.m. Again.
Saturdays.
That's Funk to Your Ears.
Funk to Your Ears.
Shout out station managers. WFNU is moving on up.
Yeah, station managers at WFNU are crazy. They're putting in work. They're getting us into a new studio space. We're about to have a view.
That's all we can say. Stay tuned. Excuse me. Shout out to other great shows highlighting the phenomenal music scene in the Twin Cities. The Soda Sound Radio Show. The B&E crew are putting that down out of the east side of St. Paul.
Yep. And then
that's Thursdays at 6. Look them up on Facebook.
Oh yeah, Kicking It with Pops. Also, you can find
Chopping It Up with Pops.
Chopping It Up with Pops. My bad. Facebook, you can find that show.
Logan Michaels hosts the Mini Rapolis podcast, residency turned podcast, hopefully turned residency again.
Yep.
You can find that on YouTube, Logan Michaels.
And then on Mixcloud, the DJ Buster Baxter show is our friends from St. Paul, also doing hip hop stuff.
And SunDogs. Don't forget about SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We've got Chase Vibe, again, being very patient. Chilling with us in the doghouse. We're about to be talking about your most recent project. And everything in between. We were saying before we started the show, last time we got to sit down with you, it was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, December 2018, I believe.
Yeah.
So
we look forward to checking in, and you brought 2 tracks from the most recent project.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So we have that coming up. Our next you can follow him at Chase Vibe.
At Chase Vibe everywhere. And all his music, Chase Vibe, search whatever you're listening on.
Yep.
And you'll find that.
Our last interview, we got to sit down with Ian Christ and talk about his origins coming from Louisiana. And our next interview next week will be with Uncle T.
Uncle T, baby.
Your favorite.
Shout out.
Your favorite him.
Exactly.
Check out all episodes of Local Vibes. 2 places they're archived.
YouTube and anchor.fm/localvibes. On YouTube, the channel is SunDogs TC.
And again, if you're listening live on the FM radio, there's a few ways you can do it. You can tune your dial to 94.1 FM in the Frogtown community. You can download the Live 365 app and listen from anywhere in the world. Or you can do what I do and go to the WFNU.org website and stream it live from the website.
That's right. So it's easy as that.
It's easy as that. SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We're live Fridays from 6 to 7. Replays from 3 to 4.
That covers all the business. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, again, follow Chase Vibe at Chase Vibe. Follow SunDogs at SunDogs TC.
But yeah, interview time. We call this the Local Artist Spotlight. We like to find local artists here in Minnesota, shine the spotlight on them, because there's a million artists here. A million talented artists. There's probably 10 million artists.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't know what the math is on that.
But I know what you're trying to say. I hate to ruin the momentum.
Don't worry, I'll wait for mine.
But we're sitting with one of the 25,000 up-and-coming musicians here in the Twin Cities, Chase 5. Checking in.
That is true. How you
Some of
doing,
the
man?
math is just all over the place tonight. But
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Don't worry, this isn't a math show.
Yeah, you guys,
This isn't a
we're not
show.
math professors. We're radio hosts.
But yeah, it's been since December, I believe,
Yep.
or maybe a little before that, in 2018.
If you guys can remember that.
Since we had you on.
yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, a lot going on. Crazy year, crazy couple years.
Yeah,
And
wonder what could have happened in between.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We were saying before the show that in the Chase Vibes discography, vignettes had just come
Yes. Yeah.
out.
Which is
And
wild.
I was gonna say, and we were also saying that an artist's perspective of their own work is nothing that anyone else will be able to
Oh yeah.
to gain the insight from. You know,
Yeah.
you're saying that seems like so far long ago, and I'm still bumping that. You know,
Right. Yeah, no, it's just wild to like look back, and like 2018 doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but also it was a while ago. So it's like, you know, vignettes came out, and then the year after I released an album, Love Again, and then this year I released a new EP, Blackheart Rockstar. So
Very cool.
yeah. So go listen to all that if you haven't heard it yet.
If you have not heard that, you can find that everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just search Chase Vibe.
Yep. You know.
I use Spotify, and I know it's on Spotify.
Exactly.
What are you, if I may ask, or what is your representatives? What do they use for distribution?
I use DistroKid.
Okay, and you found
Having luck with that?
Yeah, for the most part.
anything
you know,
you'd,
like- Sometimes when you want to like I think they fixed it since, but like in the old days when you wanted to specify a certain like spelling or just
stylization.
different, like, stylization. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
They would like regulate it for the stores. So it's just
Give me
like,
an example, just like italics or like emoticons.
So like I don't know if you guys have listened to Lady Midnight, but if you go and look at like her projects music, like there's like brackets and stuff like that. They would totally remove all of that. They would be like, write it proper, otherwise they're not going to accept it. And it's like, that's not true, because I can see other people do this. But I think they're getting better at that. I didn't have any problems with the number 4 in 4-dimensional for Blackheart Rockstar.
Nice.
But otherwise, yeah, I don't really have any complaints about using distro.
That's good stuff. They do you know if they take any money off the back end or off of like album sales or stuff like that?
Was it just from your membership?
I think it is just like the membership. It's like, for me, it's $50 a year.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That's definitely something you got to keep in mind when you're doing distribution.
For
'Cause
sure.
I think CD Baby might take that cut.
Yeah.
We always like to ask, especially if there's up-and-coming artists listening to this live right now or in 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now, until they condense YouTube, until they censor YouTube what's necessary. Nothing over 10,000 views is going to get kept.
Yeah.
They're listening to the old Chase Vibe interviews.
Precisely. But
I must have done something then. I must have been like, what was Chase doing back in 2021 to have made it that far?
Precisely. And
Okay.
to capture this moment to a fan, especially up and coming artists, that's why we ask about the distro kid, because a lot of people aren't familiar at all with that side of it.
I'm a huge fan of like just sharing the information that I do have, because a lot of people just don't tell you stuff, and it's hard to like break into that. Like, I get it. Like, even a few years ago, it's just like I'm using terrible self-produced cover art for stuff on SoundCloud, and it's like, I hate when people talk about like brands, but like it's more about putting the effort behind your artistry. Is like, you want to be seen a certain way, this is how you want to present, then you have to go out and do that. So
Very true.
And I think, because I assume when you had specified with self-produced album art that you have garnished it out to a second or third party local artist to do everything since.
Yeah. No,
and I think with that extra enthusiasm or artistic energy added into your vision and your brand and your project, again, it's kind of icky to use the word brand, but image
absolutely.
of your artistry.
And that's like the cool thing is like, I have certain people around me that have been around me for years who have grown with me. So like, the same person who did all of my covers for all of my projects has been with me since we started working together.
Nice.
And so you can kind of see the progression in like both of our artistries. Ariel Cherry is the photographer, and she's also doing more graphic design stuff now too.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Did she hook it up with the logo, like the full rebrand package?
No, the logo actually came from a friend of mine, Audrey Campbell, who I just, put it out there on Twitter. I was like, I really need a logo. And then she just hit me up and was like, I got you. And I was like,
That's
this is what
awesome.
I'm looking for.
Well, yeah, everybody who needs a logo, check out, what's their, does she have like an Instagram handle, do you know?
Yeah, it's at Audrey, like AT Audrey.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And then I guess we should just go down the line and shout out the people for the rebrand. The hairstylist for the pink hair in the photo.
Gina Watkins, Flux Studios.
Very cool.
Yep. That's over on right off Lake Street.
Yeah. Epic look, epic logo, and the photog.
Yes.
You're saying you
Ariel Cherry.
suggest them as well. That's great.
You can't do it alone.
Nope.
And again,
whole team.
I'd much rather have more cooks in the kitchen, because that finished dish, the recipe might get altered, but that finished dish is going to be so much more delicious.
Right. It's like I might specialize in making this one part of the entree, but I gotta have everyone. I gotta have my line cook, my sous chef, all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to do.
I like the cooking analogy.
Yeah.
Oh man, so speaking of the rebrand, I guess we can get real deep real quick here. It's more of it's hammer and sickle style. So that obviously anti-capitalism
communist imagery
brand, exactly. You've been doing like is it like a book group or like a discussion group I saw on social
Meeting
media?
of the minds.
Yeah. So like I read this book, We Do This Till We Free Us by Mariam Kaba, and I was like, it's an abolitionist book, which is about like getting rid of like prisons and police and surveillance and things like that, and how to go about that kind of process. And I I'm a very like to myself person. Like I like to help out my community. I like to be, I like to show up for people.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as like I'm in for the day, I just do not talk to anyone. So, it can be difficult to like, self-start and like really be there in my off time. But that's something I'm looking forward to doing more of. And after I read that book, I'm like, yeah, I really can't do this alone. No singular person can change the world. Just like no singular person is behind a project of mine. No singular person can like change these bigger structures.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can just organize with the people around me, then that's something I would like to do. So when I read the book, I was like, let me just see if there's other people who would be interested in studying with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a co-learning kind of thing. Because then, you ever have a conversation with someone and it's like, you start talking and then like you're just talking like off the top of your head and you make a connection, or someone sees it from a different lens and they spark something in you.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Like I used to teach, and it's like, teachers always say I learn just as much from the students as they do from me, and like it's cliche and corny, but it's also true. It's like when you have those perspectives, when you have discussion, it's like, oh, I didn't think of it like this, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think it's important for people who want to like get involved in that kind of stuff to really meet with other people, and that's something I'm going to be doing ongoing every month. So
that's cool. Just at your house right now?
Yeah, it's just at my house for now. So like, get together, cook, discuss a reading, and then I want to do more with it, but
right now,
small
just
steps
based around that book.
Yeah. Well, it was based around that one, and then this next month we're reading Our Prison's Obsolete by Angela Davis.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's like a new book, a new discussion.
Yeah.
Both American authors?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Just curious.
Nice. Well, that sounds great. I wish you the best of luck with that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Anybody listening in the North Minneapolis, that's where Chase is at. He's cooking, it sounds like. So
yeah.
hit him
up.
Yeah.
On Facebook or anywhere?
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all Chase Vibe.
I was going to say, I was curious if there was a specific page.
Probably easier to hit me on Twitter for it.
No Facebook page for it yet.
No, not yet.
Gotcha. Maybe not want to garnish that much attention.
I mean, you can only do so much. You can't be running a whole Facebook page too.
Yeah.
You were talking about Black Heart Rockstar being a breakup album, correct?
Yeah, I mean it's an EP.
Or EP, excuse me. Project.
It collects just kind of like my experiences of what happened with After Love Again.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was making Love Again, my grandma was struggling with like cancer, and then she actually passed shortly after the release show. And that she was like someone who raised me. So like when you listen to Stages, the first song on the project, that's what that's about. And then like honestly, the rest of the project is like me dealing with like mental health and like the status of my relationship, because all that stuff can weigh down on that. So after we broke up, I wrote that project in like a week. And then I was just like, oh, this is actually good music. Let me put it out.
Very nice. Yeah, so that's your latest here in 2020. You were working
2021.
2021. Man.
Where are you
Who
living,
knows?
man?
Time doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
The last year, it's like buildings around the world don't have a 13th floor.
Right.
It'll go 12, 14. It's because, unlucky. Nonetheless, back on track.
But I was saying, we were talking a little bit about the production of that project before the show. You were saying that
yes,
you wrote, like you just said on air for everybody to hear, that you wrote it in like a week.
Yeah.
This was, we were talking before the show, this was pre even having all the beats, right? Because when you're writing like that, sometimes it's like, I don't got time to find beats.
All the production came after. So
wow.
I do this where like I kind of go on YouTube and look for a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Not anything to do with my name, but like I'm trying, like there's a certain like energy and mood that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
and then I will use that as a springboard to write to.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, this isn't what I want it to sound like.
Right.
So let me go and pitch this idea to somebody else to make me something more in my lane. So like, if anyone ever got to hear the YouTube beats I write to, they sound completely different from what is actually out there. They're not just like remakes.
That's awesome.
And the last song on there, 4-Dimensional, I didn't even write with a beat. Like, that was all just like, it was kind of like almost a metronome. It was like, you know, like, I'm going to find the rhythm for this, and then I'm going to write it. Because that was like more of like just putting my heart out there. And like, that one like felt good. Because like at the end of that song, I end up singing and everything. It's like, I'm not a singer. I don't have a great voice, but like we made it work.
I was going to say, it sounds
Neasia came through and she did some background vocals for me. So
awesome.
Shout out.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, was Blackheart Rockstar the one that had the same producer all the way through?
Yep. Ozzy the Painter. They did production on every single song. So all the way through.
Holy
so it
moly.
runs through just kind of like, you can feel that like production carried through.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome. Because
they
he
all
was really
sound different.
sculpting the beats to your lyric that already existed.
Yeah.
Were you
so cool.
able to sit down with them on the final ordering of the album or of the project? Excuse me.
I had the order before we even like started. I was like, this is because like it's telling a story. So I was like, Blackheart Rockstar is loosely based on the stages of grief.
Nice.
So
perfect.
that's why the first song is called Stages, and then like you kind of go through those like bargaining and anger moments, and then acceptance at the end.
That's
Me
dope.
like
Yeah, so cool. So cool.
If you haven't checked out the project, just go to Spotify right now.
Yes, please.
Blackheart Rockstar, Chase Vibe, easy peasy.
Follow him at Chase Vibe. It's that easy. You can
Put his songs on playlists on your Spotify and share them with your friends.
and in your TikTok vids.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe not your TikTok
DistroKid.
vids.
DistroKid might distribute
They
to
do
TikTok.
distribute
They
to
do.
TikTok, but
They
I
do.
have heard that they're weird with their royalties /
weird over there.
like copyrights.
Gotta
'Cause
get into those.
TikTok's like wild, wild west
Yeah.
in regards to like sampling intellectual property.
Yeah, because it's just like you can make anything a sound, and it's
Yeah.
like also like you have to go in on DistroKid like specifically and like highlight the parts of the song that you want on there,
Interesting.
or you can just let them do it. And I was like, I probably should have went and ordered that, but I'm like, I don't have a fan base on TikTok yet, so I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Be precisely. So interesting.
Yeah, we don't know much.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Always changing.
How has the writing changed since you kind of got the emotional weight off of your chest since writing Blackheart Rockstar?
This is a good question.
Because you were saying you got stuff coming up. You got projects on the horizon.
Yep. So normally, I will take a break after I'm done promoting, but because everything moves a little slower now, my break happened while promoting. So I was running into a wall really of like, I have songs and like, I just wasn't finding the motivation to like put them out yet. And that just felt like I wasn't writing enough. And like, I eventually just started writing every day. So that's what I've been doing lately is like sharpening my pen really just to get better.
Putting
And,
in your 10,000 hours.
Exactly. And it's like, that's led me to like finding more inspiration because it was hard for a while. It was like I was just running my head up against the wall like, well, what do I talk about now? And it's like, oh, I found something. So, I'm looking forward to putting a project out later this year.
Well, we will definitely have you back on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. If you wouldn't mind, would you talk about some of the different writing strategies you have? You said if you're switching up a little bit to like writing every day is obviously a great strategy if you want to come up with good stuff. What other you're saying sometimes you look for a YouTube beat to like find a vibe and kind of write to that, but like sometimes you're saying you just write rhyming stuff that's in your head.
Yeah, so like, I have a lot of just different ways to create a song. It's just so many different ways. Like, what's that terrible expression? Like, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
That's what
Hey,
it's like.
SunDogs like that expression.
Hey, cats.
That's exactly what it feels like for me to write. Is like, sometimes I'll be in the studio and someone will put a beat on and it's like, write to that right now. I was like, all right, cool, got it. Sometimes I'll get like sent a beat pack and I'll look for the thing that speaks to me most and I'll write to that. Sometimes it is like the YouTube thing of like, I want to write something. Let me go find something that sounds like what I want to write to and write to it like that. Sometimes it's just like, oh, that sounds like a good bar. I should write that down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I should just build on that. So like, I'm all over the place with stuff. I'm not sure what my comfort zone for writing is because like, it's just situational for me. But
there's no wrong way.
Yeah. And like writing every day is just kind of like opened up for me like, oh, okay, I can get better at this like on a technical level. I don't necessarily have to like, and I'm okay with writing a bad song now because like before it's like, I have like 4 beats in front of me right now and I need to write something good and I'll force myself to do it. Now I kind of feel like I have that luxury to like, oh, let me just keep writing. Let me write through it. Maybe there's a good idea in this song somewhere. Because I'm also like someone who like might even write something good and I'll just go to the point of like, nah, this sucked. Like I'll come back to it like 3 weeks later. I'm like, oh, this is good. Why did I not want this? Like every time I write something, I'm like, I hate it. But no, it's just like doing more has like kind of like inspired me to like find like the best parts of what I'm trying to do.
Very cool. Any apps on your phone you like to do notes on other than like
literally the notes app?
The notes.
Sometimes I'll do voice notes if I'm like finding like a certain flow or melody.
Precise. It takes up a lot of space.
I don't know what kind of phone you have. Google Keep
Okay.
Has the voice note in the text thing.
Oh, okay.
And if you voice record first, it will dictate what you have said. So that's a good one for people who can like freestyle and just trying to get their stuff written down in a cool flow.
But if you are paranoid, like I get sometimes, and I'm thinking Google's stealing all my ideas. But it's probably just me being a freaking vain piece of crap.
I mean, everyone has access to all of our stuff if they wanted to.
True.
Like, how they actually found, I just read this the other day, like when you like go somewhere and like you'll get an ad for something you just saw, even if you never talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not even them listening on your phone. They're looking at the metadata that you're caching in locations because you give up that stuff in agreements or whatever.
Precisely.
And then it's just like, boom, here. Did you just see this? Don't you want it? That's how it goes. I don't remember what the article was. I just read it, but super weird.
Yeah, very weird. Technology is weird. The future is weird. Just trying to keep up, baby.
Yeah.
Follow Chase Vibe at Chase Vibe. Follow SunDogs at SunDogs TC. If you're just joining us, adoy. We are
burped into the mic.
We are sitting down with Chase Vibe, and we
should do like a fake break right now.
Fake break?
Well, just like hey everybody, we'll be right back. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, just in case we gotta throw a commercial in there when we're editing later.
This is SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We're sitting down with Chase Vibe in the dog house. Bow wow. You can follow him at Chase Vibe. You can follow us at SunDogs TC. Send us your radio edited songs as well as upcoming events to sundogstc@gmail.com. But right back into it.
Right back into it.
The nitty gritty.
All right. Sorry for hogging the questions here. What do you got?
I got talk about time investment and wearing multiple hats. So I know you said earlier that especially with the non-music artist side, you like to incorporate local artisans.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, everything that I have in front of me is my vision for what I want to do.
Yeah, the curator.
Yeah, but like, just because I have a vision for it doesn't mean I can bring that to fruition. So I like to work with multiple people. And like, I also don't overly dictate what I want because artists are artists. You're going to create. So like, my album covers, my logos, my production, all of that goes to other people. I tell them what I want, and then they create it, and then that's how it works for me. Like, I try to keep like the bigger picture for like what I'm doing creatively to myself, and then like the lyrics and the flows, and just focusing on being a rapper, you know?
Yeah.
Focus on what you need to focus on, yeah. Because I think when you get oversaturated with all the clerical stuff, that is literally minutes in the day that is being taken away from writing and perfecting your flow and your artistry.
Absolutely. And like, you know, I have meetings with I have a manager now. Like I work with Zeus James, who is formerly of Neon Black. Cool. And he helps me kind of like on the more like business side, and like it's going to be a lot easier for me to do shows when I don't have to think about it as much.
That's huge. That's I mean,
yeah.
I think we'll reiterate this one more time to anyone listening who is trying to be a musician. You cannot do this by yourself. You need at least guidance and or like an apprenticeship.
You need a team.
You need a whole team working with you to make any artistic vision come to fruition.
It'll be way more fun. And like
exactly.
And there's definitely an illusion with
when people say they're self-made.
Yeah, exactly. There's no top 40 artist that you're listening to that's doing it by themselves. So there's a lot of people who like the industry and want to do part of what it takes to make somebody a star, essentially. And you might as well team up, because you can find them in Minnesota. There's plenty to do.
Yes,
that is all. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
So because you get to focus on the artistry, what's your time investment typically in a workday?
Well, other than like my actual job.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no, I try to give myself an
alter
hour.
ego. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, now that I'm like writing like every day, I try to give myself like an hour to like write a verse at least. I have like the skeleton of like what my next project is gonna be. I have like a whiteboard of like all of my like ideas and goals for like this year.
I love it.
And I kind of just use that like to just break things down and like break things apart to figure out where I'm gonna go.
Cool to get a bird's eye view, because when it's all crammed in the brain, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah, definitely. And that's like, so I have my whiteboard, and then I have my notes of like what should I do for today, and then like I'm everywhere like with just like putting myself into like these kind of boxes, because it frees up my mind a bit.
Yeah. To kind of automate it, you know what I mean?
Which I don't want to feel like a machine, but it's like, you know, like...
I mean, it'd be nice to have a butler or an assistant, you know what I'm saying? Be able to dictate all these things for you.
Right. Like,
so you can pace around willy-nilly and just spout off
like,
stuff.
Hey, now that you are done with this, you have to do this in an hour. It's like, okay, got it. So, like, just giving myself those, like, day-by-day goals so I can, like, focus on things.
And did that kind of evolve during COVID, or was that pretty solid pre-COVID?
It's still
in your
evolving,
work ethic?
because I am just still trying to get better at it, because it's hard to keep a routine. So
I can attest to that. I've been this guy knows I've got an alarm going off every 30 minutes to remind me to do like the physical clock alarm versus just like the reminder on the calendar.
Oh yeah.
So bing 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 bing. All right, time to freaking
I do that when I cook. I'm like, I'll be like, set a timer for this, set an alarm for this.
Exactly.
So that when I'm done with each thing when I'm cooking,
that's key.
Yeah, nice way to manage your time, because everyone's only got
so much time.
Well,
it's only so many hours in a day.
Exactly.
So for when I'm cooking, I got all these alarms for whatever's on the stove, and then I can go do the dishes while I'm doing it, so I don't have to worry about it later.
Time management.
Yeah.
Key. How did we already kind of touched on how the writing process, how you talked about the different ways you like to write.
Yeah.
How has the writing process changed since socialization was taken away, since COVID?
I didn't write.
No, right? Okay.
When COVID happened, like I had Blackheart Rockstar done already, and I was just like, all right,
That's chill.
cool. I'm just gonna record this, and then I'll put it out when it makes sense, and made sense for me to put it out in
Yeah.
February. And then I'm just like, oh, I guess I should get back to doing the music stuff again.
Precisely.
So, because I already had like other songs too that I'd written alongside Blackheart Rockstar, like after Love Again was over. I was like, let me get started working on the next thing.
Yeah.
And then I still have those, and that's kind of what I'm planning. Like, they're not old songs. I'm like rewriting and, keeping everything up to date, but it's stuff like that I already started working on 2 years ago.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I would definitely say you're on like the more thoughtful end of the spectrum when it comes to releases. I assume you're going to continue to do that for projects in the future. What would you say for anyone listening, anybody thinking about releasing a project, are the benefits of like really having like a rollout plan in your head, or like?
Oh yeah. The first thing I would say is don't release a project. You should definitely just invest in singles, because that's what people are into nowadays.
Very cool.
But like, if you are gonna do a project because you love doing projects like I do,
Yeah.
no matter what you're releasing into the world, the rollout is important. Like, there has to be a way that people can trace back to like the work that you do and like get excited for it. So like, with Blackheart Rockstar, I was putting out a picture every day from the photo shoots we did, and like we did like 4 separate shoots because we did something for every song.
Wow.
And
so all the music was done, and then you
yeah.
started doing the stuff for the release of the project.
Yep. And like Blackheart Rockstar, like, I just needed to like reset myself. So I'm like, let me kind of change up what my image is. Let me really like step into like what that name is.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's why there's pink hair now. It's just like it stands out. It's a signature. So just being able to like really like get people excited and invested in you as an artist is important, because like I could drop a song on a random Tuesday and no one's gonna engage with it, because like they're gonna miss it. Social media algorithms are gonna bury it, whatever happens. Or like, it's just, if they're not seeing you put the effort in behind the work that you need to do for the art, they're not necessarily engaged. So like, someone who's like really good at this stuff on the local scene is RZ Shahid.
Oh yeah,
I concur.
Yeah, his rollouts are great. The artistry, like his cover art, always really interesting to me. So he's super dope. I think on the opposite end, I think Nucky has built up enough of a fan base where he can just drop a voice note and there's like 200 reactions on social media, because he's just so dope at what he does. But like, you gotta have that. To get to that point, you have to like build up what you have. So it's just like creating and showing people why you're dope. So,
and strategically doing that again with the team.
Yes. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people involved in like whatever you're gonna do. Like, the logo is Audrey Campbell. For my art for projects, it's Ariel Cherry. For when I need a DJ, it's Queen Dwayne. For production, Ozzy the Painter. And for like on my management side is Zeus James. And like, that's not even to say like all the artists that I reach out to for collabs, and I don't do a lot of collaborations for the most part, but like when I work with them and like, just other things, it's just like you have to like really like get everything lined up and in lockstep for yourself before you release something.
Because I, for one, get excited and giddy.
Yes.
And I think all artists do, where it's, this is dope. Everyone think it's dope. Let's drop it right now.
Just nobody pull a Rihanna and never drop your project.
Oh my goodness.
I'm dying for it. It was supposed to come out last year, and it was supposed to come out the year before that too, I think. So
yeah, I think for like rollouts, the reason people don't do them as well anymore is because they think they're Beyonce. Because Beyonce started that whole thing where she would drop a project and then out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then everyone just started doing that because they thought that they could get the same attention. But it's like, if you want to like build up that anticipation. Like we just saw with J. Cole, you know, and announced the project. Here's the cover for it. A couple days later, here's a track from it. A couple days later, here's the freestyle on the radio. And then there's a project that comes out, and now there's a video, and then a couple days later there's another video. And it's like just keeping people aware that like, oh, I'm still here, I'm still doing this, and it gets people excited. It's like, oh, it also helps that nothing else has really come out, but it's like, you know, this whole month is just like J. Cole just like every couple of days doing something.
Oh, shout out DMX though, can't say nothing.
Well, yeah, absolutely, but like, you know, it's just been like, for the most part, he's had this kind of month open.
And yeah, it's so cool, like you're saying, just having the rollout on top of this, on top of that, and just keeping it where it's like every few days, the odds of somebody showing you something about J. Cole is pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, everyone's attention span is so short, so keeping it every few days, if not multiple times, like rush hour twice a day, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So maybe before announcing your release date, because you have, you know, 12 songs written, maybe have the whole project
be done with everything
produced,
precisely,
and then boom, have all your photo shoot done.
Yep.
Boom, maybe start working on some of the music videos, have those done,
submitted on DistroKid early, because they like to have a grace period. They like to have like a month at least, right?
Yeah, I always get yelled at for that.
Plan when you're dropping stuff. Have a theme if you're like Chase, have it all.
Oh yeah.
Or RZ Shahid as well, just like boom, like color coordinated, like something everything cohesive, makes you feel.
It makes
this.
It makes it so much more immersive. It makes it so much more fun, not only for the listener but for the artist as well. It's got to feel so much more fulfilling.
Oh yeah, because it's just like, oh, this is a statement. This is like when I did Love Again, like I was wearing that jacket with every interview that I did.
Nice.
So like, you know, this was kind of like the next step. It's like, oh, I should just become this person. I should just be like the title, like what Blackheart Rockstar is.
Very cool.
Like, as Chase Vibe, this is how I move through.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
That's huge.
Very inspirational.
A huge step. Very inspirational.
Yeah, you might see SunDogs with a new look, man. I swear. Oh man. So we like to squeeze advice out of you. We're targeting like the listenership to like people who want to do well in making music, and so common artist question: naysayers. Anybody who's you know, maybe family, maybe old friends. I'm sure, and you've been an artist long enough to know what to do with that kind of energy. What advice would you give to people who are maybe just starting out?
Yeah, well, if it's constructive criticism, because you got to know the difference.
Exactly.
Someone can be harsh to you and still want you to like succeed.
Precisely.
I would say just get thick skin about that and listen to it. You don't always have to use constructive criticism. If it's just like some like negative comments, I kind of just ignore it.
Hey man, you suck. Listen to my song.
For me, it's like, you know, nobody's gonna make the music that I make. You can't tell a story from my lens.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't really care what you have to say. Like I know if it's good.
Besides, can we quote you on that?
Yeah, go for it.
I love that.
So like, you know, when I make the music I make it because only I could make it. So like, if someone says like, hey, this sucks, like, well, they might be right. They might not like it. It might not be palatable to them. But like, if I'm confident in it that I released it, then like, yeah, I'm good. Like I'm happy with what I released. So like, I don't really worry about it too much. I don't want to get into like the point of delusion where I'm like, I'm bigger than everybody else. Like, I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy with the progression I'm making, and I like the music that I make, and I think that like the more I stay on top of that, the more people are going to understand my sound. I don't want to try and sound like anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody could sound like you, and that's the same thing for anybody else listening, is just like nobody's got your sound, so you can really feel free to be yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be the new fresh thing that people are gonna see.
Yeah.
Another thing for new artists, really take a look at and like take account of why you're making music.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and ask you, Chase Vibe, why do you make music?
Because I love to do it. To be honest, like, you know, a lot of people might look at this as like, oh, it's a quick way to get some money, and like I've made some money over the years, but this is more of a money sink than anything. Like, you know, you just throw in dollars into equipment and like services and things like that. Like, it's not easy. Like, you gotta really know what you want out of this, and you gotta be prepared to like struggle in it, because like, you know, art is not an easy thing to do. And like, there are people who are naturally gifted at this, who get people's attention early on, and like it can be a little dispiriting to like, oh, I've been doing this for years, they just started like 3 months ago. It's like, that's their path, you gotta be on your path. But like, you know, for me to be able to do what I love and like be able to connect with people, because like I feel like my music is emotional for a reason and speaks to like bigger themes. I mean, that's why we did the logo the way we did the logo.
The ubiquity.
Yeah, just to be able to like really be with my community and be with people who are feeling something. Like, that's why I make music.
Very cool.
Very well said.
Excellent answer. Can tell that you've thought about this probably before today.
Yeah.
That is key if you want to keep yourself motivated as an artist, to really know why you're doing it. And then very little, for instance, could stop Chase from achieving that, because it's a clear goal. Very like, criticism has nothing to do with that goal.
Right, exactly. It's like, you know, if I remember there was some like event over on Lake Street, and it was dope. They were doing like a it was an open mic, but it was like, there's Mike from Astral Black was doing like the beats. He would make them live.
No way.
And then like V Boheme, the singer, she would like add vocals and like
live.
Yeah. And like, so like you would go up and you would create something.
Oh my
and like,
gosh.
I was doing it and like things just weren't hitting.
Oh.
Like I was just like, I need the tempo changed up. As soon as the tempo went up, like I was able to get it, and like someone wrote an article about it.
Nice.
And they brought up like, yeah, Chase was not connecting at first. And it's like, but then it all clicked into place.
Kismet,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm okay with that being like, oh, I wasn't on top of it right away.
Yeah.
But then it worked out. Like, as long as like there's something to see from that. Like, I didn't stop. I wasn't embarrassed. I didn't go sit down. It's like, no, this isn't on me. This is just like, we got to find the rhythm for it.
Yeah, got to get on the same wavelength.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, if you're just joining us, we're sitting down with Chase Vibe. Please follow him at Chase Vibe. Listen to his music everywhere you listen to music. And speaking of music, we got 2 tracks, both off of Blackheart Rockstar.
Yep.
And which order we've got Oh Well and Pray For. Which order in the album are these, to give listeners kind of a taste of?
Pray For is number 2.
Yep.
Oh Well is number 3.
Boom.
Very cool. Yeah, we got to start these up in about a minute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the
Time
hour
flies.
flew by quick, man. So we want to thank you for having you in. Anything, like any cool Easter eggs or anything in these songs that you can, by listening to this interview, listeners will have a deeper insight into the songs? Or do you want to leave it up to them?
Not these 2 songs, but if you go back to Love Again and listen to the song Finding Forever, which features Destiny Roberts, a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Repping the gear.
Yes. Yep. After you do that, go and listen to 4 Dimensional. You'll hear it immediately.
Awesome.
You'll know what it is.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. We've got 30 seconds left. Follow Chase Vibe everywhere.
At Chase Vibe.
At Chase Vibe.
So simple. Not the real Chase Vibe. Not Chase_Vibe. Follow us at SunDogs TC.
We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks again, Chase.
Yeah.
SunDogs Present Logo Vibes.
observation, no explanations. Oh no, no, no. Aggravation, feel frustrated. I can't take it, you hate it. I need salvation, restoration, congregation. Send your prayers up and pray. Pray for your writing, knowing you pick up the pen, I read nothing but truth. Pray for your kindness, knowing this world, your blessings are reserved for you. Pray for your family, your parents, your father, your mother, your sister. I swear, I'm left with regret. Deep down I am knowing that was my position in there. Yeah, feeling like Simba, I'm missing my Nala. I'm out on the town like Hakuna Matata. You see me on Twitter, I'm acting unbothered. Really I'm bothered, really I'm missing your mind and your body. Voicing your soul, your infinite knowledge. Wanted to finish what we had both started. I'm out control, prayers up to Goddess. Hey, you're the one I prayed for. Guess I should've prayed more. Heartbreak from a breakup. Back to the same old. Sundown, where the day go? Oh, caught in a rainstorm. I know what they won't say. Hey, guess I need to say more. Guess I need high vibrations. I need libations. You're still my favorite. Oh, oh, dehydration, that desperation. No explanations. Oh no, no, no. Aggravation, feel frustrated. I can't take it, you hate it. I need salvation, restoration, congregation. Send your friends up and pray for your success. I'm knowing you'll make it to levels that I know that I will. Just for your peace, I'm hoping and praying that you are not feeling how I feel. Pray you establish, pray your foundation is strong as the one that we built. Or maybe not, that one collapsed like it ran down the side of a steep hill. Oh Lord, I didn't see it coming. You had me blindsided, I thought we were riding. I didn't check the mileage, gas tank is empty. Broke down on the road, pulled off to the side. And I'm deaf from your silence, a mess from your absence. A puddle of passions, oceans, emotions, and potions for balance. You are my queen, diamond ring dreams. I'm back on the streets and I'm locked out the palace. Guess I should've prayed more. Back to the same old. Caught in a rainstorm. I know what they won't say. Hey, guess I need to say more. Black heart rock start. Vibe. Damn, remember how we held hands, talking about marriage, matching cell plans. I'm out here embarrassed, putting faith in a fantasy. Why do all this work if you plan to abandon me? You talking about a bag, talking about a better salary. Told you we could run it up like we burning calories. Pardon all my passion, please. Hope you find your happiness. Callous me, pray, let the past speak. Chase vibe, return of the Macintosh, the apple of my eye. But apples right after all, way too focused. You thought I'm off the Adderall. A bull seeing red, and my goals are the matador. We were supposed to split it all, we were supposed to share the throne. Now you looking uninvolved, gotta claim it for my own. Lonely at the top, and now I don't even want the crown. Stuck on the thought that you chose not to be around. Oh well. Thought I found forever, man, I should've known better. Oh well. We were sunshine and now it's rain cloud weather. Oh well. I can see the future from my skyline's horizon. Oh well. Grayscale views used to be so vibrant. Oh well. Tell me how you really feel. Lost you by decision like Evander Holyfield. I didn't see it coming and my heart is broken still. Memories playing back, bumping so for real. It's over still, and now I'm working overtime. I'ma die a legend, you can witness overtime. Success be the death of me, weighing on promethazine. I'm headed to the top, you won't catch me on the mezzanine. Catch me in the magazines, your playlists and everything. Broken hearted, breaking records, fire like an effigy. Was planning it regardless, but now I'm more committed. That line is quite ironic, but really that's the difference. Really that's my vision, been there for a minute. You were once in it, now you're cropped out the picture. Lonely at the top, and I don't even want the crown. Stuck on the thought that you chose not to be around. Oh well.